possible that she might actually be black? And the best way that I know how to describe this, and I want to be very careful here, because I don't want to say that it is equivalent to the transgender experience, but there is a useful language in trans and cis, which is just to say some of us are born cisgendered, some of us are born transgendered, but I wonder, can it be that one would be cis black and trans black? That there is actually a different category of blackness that is about the achievement of blackness despite one's parentage. Is that possible?
I got to tell you something, guys. Well, the Malzberg panel joins us. David Goodfriend, Democratic strategist, former Deputy Staff Secretary to President Bill Clinton. Check him out at davidgoodfriend.com. And Kurt Bardella, President of Endeavor Strategic Communications, former Senior Advisor to Chairman Darrell Issa. Welcome to both of you. My son on Friday, before Melissa Harris Perry came up with this cockamamie psychobabble, said to me, Dad, this woman, and we're talking about the woman who, Dolezal, who is white but has claimed to be black and is head of the NAACP in Washington State. Now she quit today. But he said, Dad, isn't this like transgender? I mean, can't she just claim that she was born in a white body but she's really black? And I said, no, I don't think it's the same, because there's rules that determine whether or not you're black or not. Or at least you have to have some element of blackness, and that comes from a black ancestor. So I don't think it's the same, but, Melissa Harris Perry and her guests are like, of course this is possible. David, what is the liberal spin, or your liberal spin, on this nonsense?
Well, I don't really subscribe to the whatever notion Melissa Harris Perry was spinning out there, but I think this is so interesting to me because we're getting very focused on this woman's proclamations about what race she was. But I worked in Congress when there would be non-African American members of the Congressional Black Caucus, for example, because they represented a lot of African Americans in their district, and they wanted to be able to bring those concerns to the caucus. And the caucus voted, thought about it, voted, said okay, but it was all above board.
Right. And by the way, David, none of those Congress people then went back to their district and said, I'm black.
Right.
All right, Kurt, what about it, Kurt?
Well, can I just add one more thought to that?
Wait, let Kurt go. Go ahead.
Sorry, Kurt, go ahead.
I think that one of the big differences here is this is an element of fraud, really. You have someone who's pretending to be something that she's not. And what that motivation is I still think remains to be seen. Her parents are out there. Her parents are the ones who helped expose the fact, her family, that she's actually white, and that her constituency and that her biology and her ethnicity comes from two Caucasian parents. This whole thing is ludicrous, and this is not about people's rights and equality and the social construct of our country. This is someone who had an agenda, who perpetrated a fraud,
right,
and it's now been exposed.
David?
Yeah, but I think it's a person, an individual, and I think it's kind of weird that this much attention is being paid to it. I think it's much more important to talk about how there are bona fide problems in the country where at disproportionate rates, African Americans are incarcerated.
No, it has nothing to do with the topic here, David. Nothing. We're talking about a woman who claims she's black, got caught, had to quit from the NAACP, and why she did it, and can she actually be black when she was born white? Has nothing to do with mass incarceration.
So
By the way, every one of those blacks who are in jail committed a crime. We're coming back, folks, with Kurt. David, I got to go. We're coming back. Hillary had an announcement. Jeb Bush had an announcement. We'll talk about both of them. Don't go away.
And the first grandmother as well. And one additional advantage. You won't see my hair turn white in the White House. I've been coloring it for years.
That is just lovely. Welcome back to the Malzberg panel. David Goodfriend, Kurt Bardella with us. Kurt, let me ask you this. I mean, if you dare say anything about Hillary, And she's already cried sexism over and over. She did it 4 years ago. She's done it this time around, too. And yet her speech on Saturday, when she, I guess, announced for the second time she's running for president, was all about, again, with the line about coloring her hair, how men age in office, how she's a grandmother, which opened the door for me to talk about her ugly pantsuits. I mean, if you're gonna make it all about being a woman, then I'll talk about what you're wearing. If you're gonna talk about your hair, I'll talk about your dress.
Well, I think it was a very deliberate and in her case, very smart play to talk about the differences of her in 2016 versus the last campaign that she ran, to be less political and try to be more personable, approachable, to weave her personal narrative and her story to try to connect better with the electorate. I think what was more interesting are the things that she didn't mention, which was her tenure as Secretary of State, which by and large was a disaster, and their Clinton campaign pretty much acknowledged that that tenure is a huge liability in this campaign.
Absolutely. David?
The speech was a home run. Everything I've read and everything I witnessed in, during, after, she got everything done that she wanted to do. And the table has been set here because, as you said at the beginning of this segment, you know, there'll be plenty of barbs thrown at her. Plenty. We're just hoping for them. We're praying for them, because when they come in, and they will, we're going to show just how strong Hillary is against all of that. And she's going to make those Republican men look like a bunch of political pygmies.
Why?
She's
because
awesome.
because she
Hillary
dyes her hair.
Clinton
Because
is
she
gonna
because she dyes her hair.
Yeah. So what?
Well, I mean, what's the point of bringing? Well, isn't she above that? I thought she doesn't want to be. It's not about being a woman, but she's made it all about being a woman.
Oh. No, as a matter of fact, when people have attacked her for not looking a certain way, for being too old, for being too, I don't know, matronly in her appearance, what she's doing, and the reason you're talking about this right now and the reason it's working, is she's just turning that around on you to say, yeah, this is who I am. Love it.
I never said, no, I don't know anybody who said she's matronly.
And I think listen, here's where the brass tacks really happen, because women voters are obviously very important to the Democratic Party. They turned out in huge numbers for Barack Obama. They turned out in huge numbers for Bill Clinton. They're going to turn out in even more huge numbers for Hillary Clinton. But there's something here we have to talk about, and that is what motivates people to go to the polls in the first place. Turnout. Turnout is what did in Mitt Romney. He assumed a much higher turnout rate than he got. And in the case of Barack Obama, his turnout numbers were off the charts. Now, Hillary Clinton has a task here. She has to repeat that high turnout. And she's going to do it by motivating women to come to the polls.
By talking about her hair. That's great. That speaks a lot to women's concerns, that she dyes her hair and she's a grandmother. Good luck with that. Folks, I want you to hear, both of you, this is a curveball, so I don't know if I had this in. Okay, let's listen to LeBron James. Turn to sports here. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 1 game away from elimination. The Golden State Warriors are 1 game away in the NBA Finals from beating Cleveland and winning the NBA championship. The Cavs have lost 2 games in a row. And here's what LeBron James had to say when asked if he's afraid or confident.
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. That's simple. I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. That's simple.
Well, obviously, Kurt, we played it twice. He didn't say it twice. But you know what? This epitomizes why I don't like him. I didn't like him when he said he's going to win 8 championships or 10 or whatever before he won 1. I don't like him when he speaks about himself in the third person. And I don't like him when he upstages his coach and says, that was my play. The coach drew up a play. I threw it out. And I don't like this. Let others say you're the best in the world. It's not for him to say.
Listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to LeBron James and his legacy and his status, it comes down to rings. And the fact of the matter is he's 1 game away now from being 2 of 6 in NBA Finals. That's not the greatest of anything at all. And the big debate over my, and I'm a self-professed Laker fan. I'm a Kobe fan. I'm rooting for the Warriors. I'm wearing a Golden State Warriors t-shirt underneath this blazer right now. But let me tell you something. At the end of the day, championships are what define greatness. Right. And it took LeBron having go to Miami to team up with a future Hall of Famer, a cast of all-stars, to get the 2 rings that he has right now.
Right, and now he's back and it's all on him. David, what about calling yourself the greatest? We got 20 seconds.
Well, I've got to tell you something. Everybody thought the Cavs were out when Kyrie Irving hurt his knee, and it's incredible what this one man has done with the team. But I think calling yourself the greatest in the world, look, He's just trying to make sure he keeps his head in the game and his team members' head in the game.
Right.
He's doing it in a way that
Right.
maybe I wouldn't do, but he is a great man. I still am with Michael Jordan as the greatest
All right, guys,
basketball player.
got to go, David, and we appreciate both of you coming on. Appreciate it. We'll speak to you soon on the next panel coming up with both these gentlemen in the not-too-distant future. Susan Ferriccio is next, but first, folks, vote in our latest poll. Who do you think the Republican candidate should be? Who do you support? Log on to Newsmax.com/poll and let us know. Newsmax.com/poll. We want to hear from you.